What is up, fellow benchwarmers? Welcome to your daily fantasy quickie. What is up, guys? Day 1 of week 17. My name is JJT with Commish Eric. Day 1. In case you were wondering what week 17 would look like, it's going to be an exciting week because of the trade deadline. No trades, Commish, yet. But lots of trade rumors, and I mean a lot of big names popping up.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown, just a new one. Jaylen Brown for Kevin Durant.
Van Fleet, another name that was thrown around today. Of course, the Toronto boys, Siakam, OG, some of the names you will hear.
Brooklyn's really after, I think, Fred VanVleet or Siakam, trying to upgrade Dinwiddie to either of those two. No, probably Fred VanVleet, but I know that Kevin Durant is very fond of Siakam, so they also want Pascal Siakam. They want to get him. Do they have the pieces? Well, now Dinwiddie, the Dinwiddie trade wasn't successful. It wasn't. They wanted it to be a 3-team trade. Now it's not. They can still trade Dinwiddie, but I think they can't package him with another player. So they have to use him plus draft picks to get probably Fred VanVleet, if ever. So that's still possible. Still possible.
Yeah. Of course, nothing's final. Nothing's. We still have to wait a few more days, 2-3 more days, before we see anything. But of course, I'm kind of expecting something to happen before that.
Yeah.
Before that actual deadline.
I think they're waiting for Toronto's move. I in my opinion, because the top players really are in Toronto. The Siakam, VanVleet,
Rozier is another name that's being floated around.
Yeah, but he pales in comparison to those in Toronto, I think.
Yeah.
So it's up to Masai Ujiri to either shake up this trade deadline or make it boring if he doesn't do anything, because really as we said, the center point really is in Toronto. Although you mentioned Rozier and Charlotte, they're a team to watch out for because of Plumlee and because of their record, because of their tanking hopes. And of course, there's DeRozan. There's a new name, as you said.
Yeah.
From Chicago. So
actually, Jaylen Brown was a surprise one.
Well, it's not really about Jaylen Brown. It's about Kevin Durant. No? So if KD is available, you would hear names more established than Jaylen Brown suddenly available.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna try to get him. Miami has been salivating about Durant.
Everybody feels KD wasn't happy with what's happened with Brooklyn, especially after that Kyrie move, I guess.
Yeah, that is an assumption that we're not sure. Before we know he's not happy, but now we're not too sure. Now the Brooklyn Phoenix trade in the off season, they may revisit that. The Ayton Mikal for Kevin Durant deal, they might revisit that. That might be a good deal for both sides, but of course a lot of fantasy implications in that deal. Ayton Claxton, Ayton Claxton for one, that would be something that would really
that's something change a lot. Claxton owners would not want to happen.
Yes, that's true. For sure. Even Siakam in a way can hurt Claxton. Though not as much because Siakam can play power forward, but Siakam has been playing center lately. Whoever, if Brooklyn gets Siakam, that would still, I think, hurt Claxton. So a lot of things are Claxton's value is there. I mean, there's still a chance that it gets rocked or hit by moves.
And that's going to be, a scary one, just because Claxton has been playing really well. I mean, a low drafted player, fantasy-wise, playing top 20, top 30 so far in the past few weeks. So really, it's going to be a big thing. But of course, all of those things, nothing. I think the Jaylen Brown kind of just surprised many because it coincided with him missing today's game.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
right now, whenever someone misses a game, they would now feel that they're on the trading block. Many fans would think, "Oh, this guy's on the trading block."
Yeah, but I think that's a coincidence. Though Jared Vanderbilt was also scratched today with the I don't know
Another
what it is.
player whose name
Yeah,
has
so
been in the trade rumors.
I don't think they're holding them out because of trade rumors. I really think there was something like Jaylen Brown and illness supposedly. So I don't think it's about the trade. But of course, it's fun to speculate. It's
Yeah.
fun to piece together conspiracy theories. So it's okay. That makes it more fun. But I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that.
All right. So not much has happened today when it comes to performances. Maybe the biggest one, Klay Thompson. 11
42.
threes,
Yeah,
42
42 points.
points. This is the Klay that we saw already when Steph was out.
Yeah,
I
people
don't
were
think
talking about
I
Jordan
think
Poole.
yeah.
We talked about Dante DiVincenzo, but Clay might actually also have a say as to who gets the biggest boost with Steph out. We have, as you said, we've seen this before, and it looks like for the rest of the season, since I think Steph, they gave a formal time frame, at least 4 weeks. So that goes right into what we were expecting. We said 37 days. We said 5 weeks. So 4 weeks, at least 4 weeks, it sounds like 5 weeks to me. Sounds like 5 to 6 weeks. So
Yeah. And if that's 5 to 6 weeks, what do you do?
that's tough. Hopefully you are in a league that has their playoffs in the week 22, 23, 24. Then maybe if you can make it to the playoffs in that format, maybe you can still have Steph back. If not, you'll probably have to wait until the semis, week 21. That's when I think you could see Steph. That's a big. You don't have any choice. You can't drop him. I mean, there's still a chance that he comes back in 4 weeks. If he comes back in 4 weeks, that's week 19, because week 18 is 2 weeks. So you still have to play the odds there. You have to still gamble that he might come back early.
Do you
So
trade
just
him
have
for
to.
if someone offer you maybe Kyrie, for example?
Kyrie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. If it's Kyrie, I would take Steph. I don't think the Kyrie owner would take Steph though. I mean, you're not gonna have him for 4 to 5 weeks, even probably the start of the playoffs. So it
All
takes a
right.
certain kind of manager to
Someone
think.
lower, someone
Maybe at the level of Rozier, maybe even lower than that. I think, because as I said, the top team in your league might not even gamble, because if you don't have a bye in your leagues, it could come back and hunt the top team, right? So it's not a given
yeah.
that he'll be back for the playoffs, for the first round of the playoffs at least. So even if I'm the top team, I will not gamble unless you're gonna say you're gonna take an 8th round player for Steph. Which, if you are the one who owns Steph, you won't do that either. You won't accept that deal, because you'd rather wait it out. 8th round, 7th round players are, there's a lot of them in the waivers.
Yeah.
So really, no much that much deals to be made here.
Big blow, of course, for all the Steph owners here as we close in on the playoffs. Now, we talked about the deal that happened between Brooklyn and Dallas. Cam Thomas, Edmund Sumner, another great game today. Cam Thomas had 47, nearly got
47.
50.
47.
And Sumner had a solid all-around game once again. Interesting here would be that Brooklyn team, right? Because do you think, because Cam Thomas is not even rosterable when Kyrie was there. What are the
Yeah.
chances that he becomes a rosterable asset fantasy-wise?
I think in deep leagues, that's a given. He already earned his spot. But in shallower leagues, we have to remember it's not only Kyrie who is gone. Seth Curry is also out. So
Yeah.
that's why Cam Thomas was not rosterable, because they had Kyrie, they had Seth. So they had, and then of course Joe Harris and the others were there. So that is the reason why. So we have, but the good thing is for Cam Thomas, Seth Curry doesn't have a timeline to return. He had an MRI. They didn't announce what the results of the MRI is, but they did say that he doesn't have a timeline. So that means the MRI result might not be good. It's an adductor strain. I think that's also the groin, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So it might be something serious for Seth not to have a timeline. So that means Cam, value is going to be good indefinitely and until we see Seth come back.
Actually, until we see KD comes back, because
or KD, yeah.
Right, because I
KD.
think that's another player that will definitely affect Cam Thomas' value.
And Spencer didn't really, as we said, number one, he might be traded again. We've seen that. Number two, he's a big guard. No, if he doesn't get traded, he's a big guard. That would be perfect for Cam. If they start together in the guard position, Cam can guard the point guards of the other team, and Spencer can go to the shooting guard. If you watched the game a while ago, you can see that by the third or fourth quarter, the Clippers were attacking Cam Thomas defensively. They were pick and rolling, ball screening to death until they get Kawhi or Paul George and Cam Thomas, and then they were bullying him down low. So you expect that. Don't expect 40 plus, 30 plus points from Cam Thomas forever, even if there's no Spencer Dinwiddie, because defenses would adjust.
Yeah.
They would adjust. Cam Thomas was able to, fly under the radar a little bit. But I think as Brooklyn plays more games, he'll get scouted. He'll get scouted. So it's gonna drop.
For sure. And Sumner is another player there. Probably a little more interesting because he plays the point, right?
But Ben Simmons is coming back, so that might, because Dorian Finney-Smith, as we said, Ben Simmons, they're guards they're forwards, but Ben can play point guard. So if they have so much players at the wings, they could just move Ben Simmons to the point guard position, start Ben with Cam Thomas, and then Dorian, Royce O'Neal, and then Claxton. They might start something like that. So Sumner will lose value. So I do like Sumner more than Cam, like you, but I'm not I'm not that confident that
I think you're right. Ben Simmons is the guy, although Ben Simmons has been in and out of the lineup just because of the quote-unquote sore knee, I think, that he's having. He will play tomorrow, I think, or the next game, the Brooklyn's next game, I think.
Tomorrow.
Right, yeah. So that will be interesting to see on how it affects Sumner's value, as we talked about Sumner and Ben Simmons. On the other side, Josh Green, Jaden Hardy, we know that these are a result of Luka not playing, but of course, and Kyrie at the same time. So any one of these guys similar, at least close to the value of Cam and Sumner, at least there's a chance, or this is just really temporary, because Cam Thomas, we said, could be something a little more long term.
Jaden Hardy's temporary, as in 1 game, 2 game thing. Even if, I would say this, even if Kyrie doesn't play their next game, you're not sure to get a good game from Jaden Hardy. He's a good player. He has that Cam Thomas scoring gene there. I see a lot of Cam Thomas in him, but he's a rookie. He's very raw and very inconsistent. So that this one was really a flukish performance because of so many players out. Josh Green, he has gotten minutes before, 30 plus, 30 something minutes, and he has not performed well. Today he did. Probably because the minutes came without Luka. That's big, and also came without Spencer Dinwiddie. That's big also. But if Kyrie comes back, or if Kyrie comes in, you'd expect him to take a back seat. I would gamble and try, because he's mostly threes and steals. So maybe he can maintain that low end value in a 14, 16 team league, but not expect 29 points from Josh Green ever again, actually.
Yeah, both of them had 29 today, I think, both Josh Green and Jaden Hardy. But of course, everything will get back to normal once Luka comes back, once they get Kyrie back in. Those are the few things that happened today. Maybe we'll talk about some hold or drop players on the border or on the edge of that mountain. Should we drop them? Should we hold them? Al Horford is the first name here.
I drop him. I don't know, do you have Al Horford's?
Yeah, a lot.
You own Al Horford?
I think a few, not a lot. A few.
I have a few. I have a few, and
maybe
actually
two or three leagues.
In 2 or 3 of our leagues, or in my leagues actually, he was dropped already. Al Horford. I didn't even make a claim. If you, I wrote it down. 7 games, not in double digits, no double digit rebounding. Last 3 games, no stocks, not just blocks, no steals, no stocks. People say he's efficient and stuff, but he's what? Shooting, I don't know, less than 40% the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So I don't know what he will do to justify a 12-team hold at this point. And Rob Williams was great today. 15, I think, and how many blocks? So he's getting healthier. Really
also, even when Robert Williams is out, he's not even good.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd probably make some consideration if he's good when Robert Williams is out, and then he gets a more a bad line when Robert Williams plays. But either way, whether Robert Williams plays or not, he hasn't been good. So I think, you can. Though in fairness, in pretty much all the leagues that we are in FBW leagues, I don't see any Al Horford in the waiver.
He was dropped in some, but somebody picked him up. So there's still
belief.
There's still belief. I think with Al Horford, at this point,
he's in that Kyle Lowry.
Perfect example.
Situation.
Perfect comparison.
Where we managers will probably wait for him to get injured so that we can happily place him in the IL spot and not just drop him.
I think so. Yes.
Monte Morris, another.
A lot of questions about Monte Morris. For me,
because he's had some good games.
Yeah, but when you drafted him, I do think you know what you're getting. He's a guy who will be so boring, so average. But he can average 6 assists, 6 to 7 or 6 assists a game, which is still something. And that is just because he's like last year in Denver. He's just because it's starting, and there's no Jamal last year, and this in Washington he's a starting point guard without really any good backups or solid backups that can challenge him for minutes. So he will get those assists, some double-digit scoring by default in some games. And in some games he looks good, but in a lot of games he looks bad. Just average it out, I guess. Average it out.
I think Monte is not really a good fantasy player, but maybe in the real basketball sense, he's a good point guard. Right?
Better in real life than fantasy.
Just because I think he stabilizes the offense a bit. He doesn't turn the ball over as much, right? So I think that's where his value is in an actual basketball sense. But in fantasy, like you said, boring. If he gets 7-8 assists, I think you'll be happy.
I'll hold him. I'll still hold him though.
Yeah.
The assists really hard to find assists, and he doesn't hurt you as much as Killian. I didn't put Killian Hayes here. I should have put Killian Hayes.
Let's put him here.
He had a good game though. Same with Keegan, who's one of our in our list. They had good games today, but still, I don't know, Monte or Killian. It's that's probably the most depressing face-off we could really have.
Killian's field goal killer. That's what I don't like about Killian.
Yeah,
the field goal is just so bad. And he doesn't start now, right?
Yes, he doesn't start. And he was dropped in a lot of leagues because he was been bad, and then he played well today. But one thing can happen. Alec Burks can get traded by Friday, so maybe they start him back again. maybe they were just showcasing Burks the past few weeks because they want to increase his trade value. So we don't know. But even if Killian starts, will the hit in the field goals be worth it? Because he has what assists and some steals? You have to ask yourself that question. Monte
Well,
won't do that. No,
maybe
Monte won't hurt you.
yeah, he won't hurt you. But I think Killian maybe fits a certain build, right? When you're punting
Yeah.
field goal, all guard lineup. Um, yeah, another player in Detroit is Isaiah Stewart. He was dropped in a
Mm.
few leagues a couple of days ago, a few days ago, and then he was put back in the starting lineup and gave some solid rebounding numbers. Similar to Killian, just rebound. The field goal's bad for a big guy. Um, other than
If
the rebounds, there's really not much there for Isaiah Stewart.
if we had a face off Ian Monte, I think we'll have a face off with Isaiah Stewart and Kevon Looney. He's also in the list. Looney, Steve Kerr said he's out of the starting five, and then he said he's going to start for the rest of the season. And then right after he said that, he put him in on the bench. So I don't know, but Kevon Looney is probably Monte Morris for centers.
Yeah.
Very boring, but Looney rebounds well. He's a specialist for rebounds. He's a real specialist. And if you don't need that stat, then I guess you can move on. That's all he does, really. Rebounds.
Yeah. Well, he can throw in some blocks here and there, but not a lot.
So who do you take? Looney or Stewart?
I think so hard, right? I'm leaning towards Stewart a bit. I just feel like the upside is better.
Yeah,
Looney's
but
upside is lower. The ceiling is lower, although the floor probably is higher.
I'll take Looney. I agree with you though. The ceiling is higher and all those stuff, but there's just something about players at not the very end, but close to the end of your roster that it helps if you have some of those dependable players in some categories, like his rebounds, like Monte's assists. Those help round out your team. So I'll take Looney because as like Monte, he doesn't hurt you much in other categories.
But are they droppable players now?
I think yes. I think they're not must hold. I don't say they're droppable, but they're okay to be dropped. I would put it that way. They're okay to be dropped, but I don't think they're droppable. They can be dropped because they're very one-dimensional, like Looney, just rebounds. So as I said, if you're really strong in that category already, what's the point? And you can't trade Looney. I mean,
No,
unless
you can't.
you're gonna ask for Monte Morris, maybe that deal could work.
Yeah,
But
minor trades, small
yeah,
trades.
minor trades, but you can see what you can do with Looney, but yeah, he's okay to drop. He's okay to drop for me, especially if coming off the bench. Especially if coming off the bench.
Keegan played well today.
I don't know what to do with him.
I'm holding. I only have one though.
The last 3 games, 2 out of 21. Today, 30 points, 8 3-pointers. So he killed you last week. That's a given. 2 out of 21 and then total of 8 points or 7 points for the whole week. So
Maybe
for me, we can talk about him and Jabari together. Jabari, I don't know what to do with Jabari either. It's tough to drop Jabari outright, but he doesn't help you in any category. He doesn't help you in any category. So I don't really know what to do with him, but it's only because he's a rookie.
Probably there's some name value. Package him with another player.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to package players because instead of just giving out just one player to tweak your lineup, you're gonna give out two. And if you're gonna package players like Keegan, Jabari, you have to have a good player to package them with, right?
True.
It's not just you package Jabari and maybe your low end player for someone. That wouldn't really work because you should have a player there whose name value at least is really good or who is a really good fantasy player, right? You can't put Jabari and maybe Horford together and then package them in a deal.
Well,
That's
you
a
can
hard
package it.
sell.
Harder sell. But in our FPW leagues, I've seen the recent deals are a lot of similar level players. So I don't know. I don't know. It depends
Yeah.
on your league, I guess. But I understand what you're saying. Really tough, really tough. And you know what's irritating is Houston defends so poorly. They play fast. But look at their best players. Jalen Green, he kills your field goal. Jabari kills your field goal. KPJ turnovers, inefficiencies. You just it's a wasted opportunity. And Sengun actually had a good stretch, but kind of slowed down again. So it's a wasted opportunity. And the thing is, though, I think Stephen Silas will be fired before the end of the season. I would guess that. And hopefully, if he gets fired, a new coach can at least harness some of the fantasy goodies out in Houston. That's
Because,
really wasted.
the interesting thing here is that the most consistent player there is the oldest one, Eric
Very
Gordon.
good.
He's
Yeah,
the most consistent. He gives you what you need: threes, points, a little assist here and there, some rebounds. Not a lot, but at least you get consistent production, right? If you
yeah,
need some points, you need some threes, you can get him as long as he's not on a back to back. He's gonna play. He's gonna
yeah,
perform.
yeah. And
That's
actually, we can put Tari Eason in this list also. I don't know what they're doing with him after playing so well. They suddenly dropped his minutes to 13, 12. I, I can't explain it. After his best game of
No,
his
they might
career.
be showcasing players. Let's see. Let's see. We've talked about
If
this.
if if there's no trade in Houston after the trade deadline, Tari Eason drop or not would be a legit conversation. Would be a legit
No, if
consideration.
they don't make trades, he's probably a drop until maybe towards week 20,
March. Yeah.
right? I mean, we've
Yeah.
seen the evidence. We've seen what they will do.
Yeah.
I think what's more concerning about Jabari is that he's getting the minutes, and that's worse, right?
That's
At least Isan,
that's
when
true.
he gets the minutes, he gives you the numbers. So all he needed are minutes, and he's like the Isaiah Jackson type of
Yeah.
situation. But for Jabari, he's getting the minutes. It's just that we don't get any of the production.
And they don't have KPJ. They didn't have Jalen Green for a while, and he didn't do anything also. So he had all kinds of combinations that can happen, and he has not done anything. So the last combination that can happen maybe is Sengun gets hurt. That's the only thing that maybe helps him.
No, in
That's the only
fairness
thing.
to him though, with KPJ, I think he played a little better with KPJ there.
Yeah, maybe. But I think it's not about KPJ. I think he's just really so inefficient. His game is just so lots of warts and lots of problems, lots of holes in his game. Fantasy
Uh,
game.
so right now, Keegan and Jabari, dr- okay to drop.
Yeah, I'm okay to drop, especially Jabari. Keegan, at least in a way, maybe that
He's
he
had
has
some
some.
good stretches. He's had some good
But
stretches.
Jabari in 12 team, 10 team, shallow leagues is okay to drop. In 14, just right there, just making it. But if there's like a big trade and then there's somebody that suddenly gains value, you can move on from the Jabari and just pick up that person, whoever that person is.
Yeah, a few Utah Jazz players, Colin Sexton. Hey, he's been okay the past few games. Okay,
What does he
just
do?
okay.
I mean, what does
Well,
he do?
score. That's what he does best.
He doesn't even score 30 points for you. He scores 16, 15, 12, 14, and then
It's
he
hard
doesn't
to
do
get
any.
16, 15, 14 points.
Yeah, but it's just not
Unless you
enough.
picked up Cam Thomas or, the replacement guys. But
I don't get why he's owned in 60+% of the leagues. Unless they're waiting for Conley to be traded. That's the only saving grace maybe there. I don't know. I just don't see what Sexton gives you that really worth 60% ownership in Yahoo. Just to
yeah.
what I mentioned, not even that good in the one. At least Looney gives you 12 to 13 rebounds. I mean, you can get 40 points in any given day when you stream properly. So, really tough,
True.
really tough.
Jared Vanderbilt, the name that's been swirling around trade rumors. Hold
Yeah.
until the trade deadline.
Hold until the trade deadline. Yeah.
But if he stays in Utah, though,
Drop. He's a drop. If he stays
um,
in Utah, he's a drop.
yeah.
He's just not getting enough minutes.
Kelly Olynyk had a decent game today.
Yeah, at least he had a decent game today, but he might be moved also. I just don't see any pathways anymore for Olynyk. He'll probably be if not a bench guy in another team. In Utah, he's taking a backseat to Kessler and the other younger guys. So value's down. Not ball down, but down.
Yeah. I don't even know if these guys are even tradable in packages.
I don't know.
So if in case they might have some name, maybe some low end trade, maybe trade your Olynyk for Jabari or whatever. Trade these guys
Yeah,
around
maybe.
if you don't want to drop them,
Yeah.
especially if you feel like Jabari or Keegan or Vanderbilt would have some value or might get traded that would boost his value. You can do that. All right. Yeah, that's it for today's quickie, guys. Trade deadline is a few days away. Interesting. Let's see what happens tonight, and let's see if there's some moves that's gonna happen tonight to make the games extra exciting. Also, well, I'm not sure. I'm torn if we want to see some moves or not, because there's a big impact of having your players being traded. Because like Kyrie, he missed a few games already. He might miss a few more. Dinwiddie the same thing, right? So if your top guys, some of your top guys like Siakam, Van Fleet suddenly gets traded, they'll probably miss the rest of the week. Right? Especially if they get traded right before the trade deadline. So we'll see. Anyway, we don't have any control about that, so we'll just wait and see, and hopefully something exciting comes. As always, please follow us, please subscribe, please follow us on our socials, all in the description below. Schedule for week 17 already uploaded. We also talked about the Kyrie Dinwiddie trade there, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow for the daily fantasy. Bye guys.